Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
In financial news, investors are piling into stocks to start the traditionally volatile month on a positive footing. The market rallied on a surprisingly strong picture from the manufacturing sector, helping erase gloomy jobs data. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 249 points, or 2.5%, to 10,263 in midday trading, while the S&P 500 stock index added 2.8% to 1,079, and the Nasdaq Composite rose 2.9% to 2,176. It comes after U.S. manufacturing activity expanded in August for the 13th straight month, with the ISM manufacturing defying expectations to rise 56.3% from 55.5% in July. The encouraging numbers were fueled by strong employment and production data. In U.S. news, visitors and some residents evacuated from low-lying vacation islands off the North Carolina coast as Hurricane Earl bore down on the U.S. eastern seaboard, churning up dangerous swells. The U.S. NHC said Earl, still a major Category 3 hurricane, weakened slightly overnight as it barreled across the Atlantic east of the Bahamas. It was on track to approach North Carolina's coast. The second major category hurricane of the 2010 Atlantic season was packing top sustained winds of 125 miles per hour with hurricane force winds extending outward to up to 90 miles and tropical storm force winds extending out up to 200 miles. While a direct U.S. landfall was not forecast, Earl's swirling winds were expected to sideswipe the densely populated U.S. coast from North Carolina to New England on a forecast northward offshore path during the upcoming U.S. Labor Day holiday weekend, marking the end of the summer vacation season. Earl could bring driving rain, high winds, and pounding surf to the U.S. East Coast. NHC spokesman Dennis Feldgen said no storm had threatened such a broad swath of U.S. shoreline since Hurricane Bob in 1991. NHC forecasters said a low-pressure trough moving eastward off the United States was expected to start turning the hurricane, shifting it to the northeast, which should keep it offshore of the U.S. East Coast. In international news, Palestinian security services launched an aggressive arrest campaign in the West Bank, detaining dozens of alleged Hamas members a day after a shooting attack killed 4 Jewish settlers. Tensions ran high throughout the West Bank a day after the attack, for which the Hamas militant wing later claimed credit. The assault was the most deadly Palestinian assault on Israelis in more than 2 years. Thousands of Jewish settlers turned out for an emotional funeral for the victims, where loved ones and rabbis gave fiery speeches vowing revenge. Small groups of Jewish settlers protested near the site of the attack, in which Palestinian gunmen ambushed a vehicle with machine gun fire when it stopped at a road junction in the southern West Bank. Police arrested at least one right-wing activist who broke the windows of a nearby Palestinian home. The Palestinian Authority's arrest campaign appeared aimed at reassuring the U.S. and Israel that the Palestinian Authority is serious about enforcing security in the West Bank, hours before the launch of direct peace talks in Washington between Israel and the Palestinians.
These are the most powerful songs of all time. Time Life presents Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $29.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, and we'll cut the price to just $14.99. That's right, you get 5 CDs for just $14.99. Then preview other beautiful classical CDs, satisfaction guaranteed. This collection is not sold in stores, so call now and get Time Life's Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $14.99.
Call 1-800-731-0511 to order Classical Power for $14.99 plus shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card or order online at timelife.com/power.
In travel news, about 55 miles southeast of Berlin, the gentle landscape of Brandenburg unfolds in a patch of forest and fields. Like other parts of rural Germany, villages in this eastern state pop up every few miles. But here, distinctive flat boats float in river harbors. Country roads lined with tall trees cut through cucumber farms and marshes. This is the Spreewald, a region near the German-Polish border where the River Spree turns into an inland delta, with miles of shallow streams flowing through the countryside. In 1991, UNESCO designed a 105,000 acres of the Spreewald, a biosphere reserve, assuring the preservation of the forest, wildlife, and canals that have long made it a popular attraction for domestic travelers. But it turns out that one of the Spreewald's greatest treasures lies underground. A hot spring discovered more than a decade ago sits about 4,400 feet below ground, with minerals and salts at levels similar to those in the Dead Sea. When the spring became accessible to the public in 2005, Brandenburg made it a certified spa destination. Since then, overnight stays in Brandenburg increased by about 40%, and the town attracts more visitors than ever before. They are catered to by a number of new hotels and pensions, in addition to standbys that now stay open all year instead of only the warmer months. A road that has been renamed the Spa Route winds through the community, past farms and bridges over canals. At the heart of Brandenburg's redevelopment as a spa destination is the Spreewaldtherme, whose pools draw from the hot spring. It opened its doors 5 years ago, sealing Brandenburg's destination. In a modern building tucked into the forest, 9 pools from 64 to 100 degrees cover 8,310 square feet, offering varying degrees of mineral and salt content. Guests walk around the extensive sauna zone in slippers and bathrobes between sauna sessions that include hourly steam infusions made with local herbs. Treatments include massages with native-grown seed oil and Spreewald algae packs. In tech news, General Motors has sought a trademark for the term range anxiety, providing a glimpse into how it might market the Chevy Volt. Range anxiety refers to the nagging concern that you'll be stuck miles from home with a dead battery, and it could be an obstruction to the widespread adoption of cars like the Nissan Leaf. The Chevy Volt, which rolls into showrooms at the end of the year, avoids this by using a gasoline engine as an onboard generator. When the 16 kilowatt-hour battery goes dead after 40 miles, the engine drives a generator that keeps electricity flowing to the wheels. GM has sought to trademark the phrase range anxiety for the purpose of promoting public awareness of electric vehicle capabilities. In other words, marketing. Joel Ewenick, GM's VP of U.S. Marketing, suggested this in an interview. It's something we call range anxiety, and it's real. That's something we need to be very aware of when we market this car. We're going to market this as a car first and electric second. People do not want to be stranded. GM spokesman Rob Peterson confirmed that the company has investigated trademarking the term range anxiety, but was not aware of any plans to use it to market the Volt. He said the term has been part of our vocabulary since November of 2006. The term stemmed from customers' concerns about the range of the EVI. In green news, Michigan lost its last wild wolverine in March. State wildlife officials later said the animal, a female about 9 years old, would be mounted and put on display at a state park. But that was months ago. What happened to the plans for the display? It turns out that the animal may never be seen again because there's not enough money in the state budget to pay for it. What a shame, because this would be a good way to teach kids about the value of conservation and protecting nature. Michigan has been called the Wolverine State, and the University of Michigan uses a wolverine as its mascot. But real wolverines were extirpated from the state about 200 years ago. Michigan's last wild wolverine was found dead by 2 hikers in the water near a beaver dam. A report later confirmed she died of natural causes, congestive heart failure brought on by her age. She had been tracked for a year by a high school science teacher named Jeff Ford, who shot a video while she was still alive. According to the Bay City Times, economic constraints have ostensibly halted the precious plans to publicly display the wolverine. There also have been some turf battles over where the wolverine should be displayed. A taxidermist was hired and the animal was to be put on display at the Bay City State Recreation Visitor Center. But there were disagreements over that and a traveling display was proposed. That traveling display would cost up to $15,000. Either way, no wolverine for now. Budgets and bureaucrats are the culprit.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.